I'm making this video because I wanted to document the process that my husband and I went through. My husband, his visa was recently approved this week. Today is May 5th of 2022, and he states that he's going to pick up his visa on Monday. So I just want to say praise God for that. But just stating from the beginning, we got married November 27th of 2019. Um, I basically submitted his information, my information on the I-130, and it was received on January 9th of 2020, thinking that everything was normal. But as we know, COVID hit and everything, meaning everything, was delayed because Trump implemented a travel uh, ban as of that year of 2020. So, what should have been maybe a 3-month process at that point turned into months of waiting of whether that I-130 would be approved. The I-130 was approved as of August of 2020. So, we became documentally qualified by the MVC as of October of 2020. However, our case technically sat there for a year. So he was not scheduled an interview until November of 2021. In the meantime, because we didn't know whether he would be scheduled, I went ahead and the visa that I received when we first got married, we got married November of 27th of 2019. I had a 2-year visa. I didn't think I was going to have to use it again, actually. But I went ahead and purchased a ticket because it had just been too long and I just missed my husband terribly and I needed to see him. And we wanted to see each other. So I went ahead and booked a ticket to see him. So I planned the trip from October 15th of 2021 through, I believe I stayed till August 23rd and came back on the 24th, something like that. I'm sorry, let me back up. I scheduled a trip from October 15th through October 23rd, something like that. And I came back, I believe, on the 24th because it had just been too long. So anybody who's going through this process, you have to be away from your mate a year, 2 years. This is very difficult. Very difficult. So we wanted to see each other. And in the midst of that planning is when his interview, we got the email that his interview had been scheduled. So it really worked out as far as good timing because then I was able to go there and we made sure he have all his documents that he needed for the interview. And because it had been so long, see, that's the effect of Trump. Okay. All our documents had to be updated. Tax records, birth attestation records, police reports. And that was the only thing we didn't have updated at the time of the interview. So when he had his interview, that's what they refused him for, a police report. So then we submitted a police report and then submitted a second police report because it was like they look at the first one? It was crazy, you know. So we submitted a second police report. And then I began to email the embassy, like, what's the status? What's the status? So that, you know what they decided? They decided to interview us again. So they called me, they called my husband, and we interviewed January 10th of 2021. And they asked me questions like from what happened at the beginning of our relationship to the point of me visiting. Do I remember any of the sights I saw? You know what I mean? His family. I mean, just literally asking like as if I didn't know him or something like that. My ex-husband, he's remarried. What? I just didn't understand, you know? So once we had that interview on January 10th, I told him, submit another police report. I just don't know what to do now. This is so crazy. So at this point, this is like 3 police reports, you know? And then I'm emailing, he's emailing, you know, and we're like, where are we going to get a response? But you know who they responded to? Me. They responded to my email. Okay. So I finally get a response and they say, we're processing your visa, you know? So what ended up happening is that visa did get processed at that point. It went from, you know, after me sending that email, uh, that Monday, it went into from refused. Now, literally, it had been refused since November 22nd of 2021. And it finally went to administrative processing that Monday after I sent the email. Okay. And then from administrative processing that day, the next day it went to issued. And then after that, they began sending emails to my husband's email saying, come pick up your visa. So that's how I can make this video right now to say my husband's visa is ready for pickup. I'm so happy. And he's happy too. So that's the good part, is that we're both elated that we'll be able to see each other. Now, my husband, his best friend is getting married. So he's going to pick up his visa this Monday, but he's going to stay until his best friend gets married. So hopefully he'll be here in March of 2022. And this 2-year wait for us to be together is finally over. And basically, if many have been following my story from the beginning, um, they know I was married before, and I was married to a Nigerian. So this is like my second Nigerian husband. And I pray this is it, basically. And I'm so happy that we're going to be a family. And we have many plans that we want to see come to fruition. And I will update you after he is here. So this video is probably, I'm hoping, less than 10 minutes. Because I didn't want to go too long. But I did want to just basically talk about the time frame of how everything happened. And all I can tell you is that if you're doing this paperwork, is just make sure everything is consistent. Make sure everything that you're supposed to turn in, you turn in. Make sure that the person that you're with, if they're in Nigeria or whatever country, that they have all of the originals because they need it for the interview. Um, and you submit what you're supposed to submit to the document center, with the national, with the MVC. Okay. That's most important. Just making sure everything's consistent. Okay. The I-130 happens with USCIS. USCIS passes it off to the MVC. Once the MVC has your case, they ask for specific documents. Make sure you have all those documents and do the application, the DS 260 and the affidavit of support, and pay your fees. Okay? Because I-130 had its fee, you did that, got that approved, and then it goes to the National Visa Center. You pay those fees, and then you're able to fill out the application and the affidavit of support and submit those documents, tax records, civil documents. Okay? And then once you get to the embassy, they have certain documents that they need you to provide. You know, for my husband, the additional document happens to be, because I was on blogs listening to what people were saying, it was the birth attestation letter. If I had known, I would have did the police report, but I didn't hear anybody saying anything about that because Google said you didn't need a new police report. But guess what? The embassy wanted one. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you have to go through all these avenues as if the immigration process is a secret or something like that. So that was the addition. We did do the 260, the DS 260 document again, but all that really was going back in, opening it back up, because they opened it so you can be able to make whatever adjustments, you know. And I had really no adjustments to make because all my answers stayed basically the same. So it was really like reopening, authorizing what you said before, going through all the pages, and then saying everything was good. That was the DS 260. I didn't have to do a new uh, I didn't have to do a new affidavit of support, but what I had to do was update my current, because whatever I submitted to the National Visa Center was a year old. So I had to submit new tax records to the National Visa Center by uploading it to my CEAC case. So that's the thing. You have to make sure your documents on our side are updated and uploaded. And it's the same as the documents you submit to the embassy. And as long as those two match, you're good to go. So basically, once I made sure that police report that they said we needed, because they gave him the white paper. Y'all know what the white paper means. So once he got the white paper and it said all he needed was a police report, I had to make sure it was correct, and current. Because I think the mistake my husband made his first time is that he only submitted to the embassy but didn't upload it to a CAC case. But see, this is the thing. When they give you the white paper, it says on it that you have to upload this to your CEAC case as well as submit it to the embassy. You know what I'm saying? So my husband didn't listen to me on that. But that's neither here nor there. But that's the whole thing. Those two things had to match. And once they did match, he was approved for his visa. And I thank God because we've waited long enough to be together. So basically that's the end. If anybody has any questions about the immigration process, because I've literally been through it twice, and basically the process part of it hasn't changed, so to speak. But I will say the technology of how to get the information um, uploaded and all that kind of thing, and they've gotten better, because seeing as that I was married before, before technology kind of caught up, So a lot of this stuff we would have had to submit to the National Visa Center paper wise, but now it's all uploaded, so that's a good thing. So if anybody has any questions, you can always reach out to me. Anybody who's married someone abroad and has any questions about the immigration process. And I can honestly say that paper wise, as far as filling out paperwork and what needed to be submitted, I've never had any issue with immigration. And I thank God for that. Search result. And I thank God for that. The only issue I've literally had was them getting through the immigration process as far as interviews. Nigeria is really tough on their people. Well, I can say the U.S. Embassy is very tough on Nigerians. They just don't. I think when it comes to marrying outside of their tribe, they're really hard on the individuals. I think they don't have problems when that person is of that same tribe or at least from Nigeria. I don't think they give them the same level of scrutiny that they do if they marry an American, and especially if there's an age difference. Because my first marriage, my husband and I prior were like 6 years apart, something like that. In this particular marriage, we're probably 17 years apart. Yeah. So, I mean, I do understand the scrutiny, but they definitely scrutinize. All right. Well, I'm going to end this video. I have nothing else really to talk about, but I did want to finally detail the outcome. I would have made a video sooner, but I felt like I needed to make sure everything has been taken care of before then. So the next video I will most likely make will be once my husband is actually here in the U.S. Because right now we're just trying to get the money together for his plane ticket for him to come. And once he's actually here, we'll do another video. So the video I made years ago, basically with us saying we're going to hang in there. Who would have thought that we would have went through everything that we've gone through? A pandemic, a travel ban, I mean, who would have thought? But here we are. So I just thank anybody who prayed for us or who was encouraging us. Thank you, because it definitely was needed. Whole lot of life has happened since my husband and I have gotten married. So, any questions anybody has, please shoot them to me because I'm definitely willing to answer. If you see my eyes get misty, it's because I went to the eye doctor today and they gave me so many. They dilated my eyes. They did everything, so my eyes are still watery from it. But yeah. Basically, just to say, I'm willing to help anybody through this process because I know it. I literally have had times where I said I am in immigration hell. I literally, honestly felt like that. Like I am literally in immigration hell. I don't know what else to do. I've done everything they asked me to do, and I'm waiting. That's all I can tell you. So I would say to anybody, a new marriage. This is what I would call this is undue stress. This is a burden no new marriage should have to experience. To have to be separated for 2 years. We literally probably, because of my 2 visits, have been together less than 30 days in each other's presence. And you've been married for 2 years now. By the time he gets here, we'll be going on our 3rd anniversary. You know what I'm saying? That's insane for a new marriage. But that it is. So thank you for anybody who stuck through this whole 20-minute rant. Thank you. But if you have any questions, let me know. And if I see your messages, I try to shoot back a response. So thank you so much. Bye.